Well, hello, and welcome to another edition of 10 with Tom. This was going to be our back to school edition today, but there's so much going on that I just want to share a couple of things with you as we get started. First of all, I want to let everybody know that I have been diagnosed with COVID, and so I'm going to be taking a break for a few days, and so we will try and get things restarted with Will and with Pastor Will and Pastor Clint jumping back in. That probably won't take place till this weekend. But I certainly appreciate your prayers. I'm dealing with a bunch of symptoms, but so far we're hanging in there, and look forward to be back with everybody real soon. So I just wanted to give you an update on that and my health and everything that's going on there. Secondly, yesterday or Sunday afternoon, or Sunday morning I guess it was, college football, the state of Florida, especially Florida State University, lost a legend in the passing of Bobby Bowden. Bobby Bowden, the longtime head football coach. He coached there for 34 years. Bobby Bowden's life was not just about football. More importantly, it was about leading others to know Jesus Christ, helping young boys become young men, men of integrity, men of character. I think even though he won 2 national championships at Florida State, probably one of the proudest things in his career is that Bobby Bowden produced more men that have been the NFL's humanitarian of the year than any other university has produced. And so that just speaks to the character that he instilled in the young men that he worked with. Another thing about Bobby Bowden he used to say that football was a part of his life, but that it wasn't his life. And so I think that's just a wonderful testimony that there was so much more than football. I heard Bobby Bowden speak on several occasions, and he wasn't talking about football when I went to hear him. He was talking about Jesus Christ and the difference that Jesus has made in his life and the difference that Jesus can make in all of our lives. And so what a powerful testimony. And so this morning before getting ready to do 10 with Tom, I walked into my room and looked on my bookshelf because I've got several books, both written by Bobby Bowden and written about Bobby Bowden. And so I found this one just simply entitled Bobby. It was written by a former writer at the Florida Times-Union named Mike Freeman. And I noticed 2 things about it. First was where it was situated on my shelves. It was right next to a book on Civil War history. And that was one of the things that Bobby Bowden really liked to study. He studied war tactics. He was an expert on World War II, which he lived through. Also studied the Civil War and a lot of the great engagements. He read as often as he could, which is a great lesson for all of us. But as I was reading the introduction to the book that Mike Freeman wrote, I came across these words that I thought did a great job of telling a wonderful story from the perspective of one who's not a believer, or well, maybe he is. If he is, he doesn't always demonstrate that with his life, or he isn't vocal about it. But he writes this: "To say that Bobby Bowden is a highly decent man, comfortable in his own cleats, is a dramatic understatement. In 2 decades of covering almost every sport, I have never quite met anyone like Bowden. I am not a friend or a colleague, but have quickly become an admirer. He is easily the most sincere coach that I have ever encountered. As I researched this book and heard the numerous stories about Bowden's good heart and his sincerity, I had my doubts. I searched for hardened enemies. I admittedly looked for undiscovered dirt. I could find neither. They don't exist. I can't even find a time that he didn't help an old lady cross Osceola Street in downtown Tallahassee. We all have things in our closet we're ashamed of," said former Florida State running back Warrick Dunn. "But Bobby is the one guy, who has a sparkling clean closet. Not even a little piece of dust." What a testimony from one of his former players in Warrick Dunn, and what a beautiful description by Mike Freeman. I love the fact that Bobby Bowden was an encourager, that he always took the time for others. Everybody that met him immediately became his buddy, which is a word he tossed around quite a bit. And so as we reflect on the life of Bobby Bowden and hear all the stories, I hope that we aspire to be the kind of model of Jesus that he was to so many, and to live a life of excellence. So rest in peace, Coach Bowden. What a difference you've made in so many lives, including mine. I also wanted to say this morning What a great time we had the last couple of weeks at the 12 conference in Bradenton, hearing from great speakers, really encouraging young people in living out their faith. Also, our mission trip in Charleston, a tremendous time working together, getting to meet with youth groups from other parts of the Southeast and from Texas, and just a great time together as we serve the Lord together. And there's so much in that. So I just want to put a quick plug out. And you're going to be hearing a lot more about the mission trip over the weeks ahead. We filmed a series of 10 with Toms while we were on the mission field, and you'll get to hear what our life was like on the mission field, hopefully as an encouragement for next year. But I really hope that you will be encouraged to look into next year's mission trip, wherever that may take us, and be a part of our team that serves together, because it's a great way to grow in your faith. Also, the 12 conference is going to happen again next August, and I hope you'll be a part of that, because it's a great opportunity to get refreshed and refueled and take your faith to a new level. And so don't miss out on that opportunity. They're great, great things. But finally, I did want to talk about starting school. Monday is the first day of school. It's the first day ever for high school at Tocoi Creek. And so I came across something that we shared in youth group years ago, and I thought it was pertinent then. I think it's still pretty pertinent now. It's a thing I came across the internet years ago called Allie's Rules for High School. And I hope you'll take these to heart as you begin the new school year. Number one, surround yourself with people who build you up, not people who tear you down. Treat your kisses like you have a limited supply. Guard your heart. Seriously, your heart is precious. Stay vertical. No buttons or zippers or Velcro. In other words, set your boundaries and stick to them. Have an accountability partner and be willing to tell her anything or him anything. If it's a girl, make sure that accountability partner is a girl. If it's a guy, same way. Be so careful who you date. If you're wondering if you should break up with him or her, break up with them. If your girl gets broken up with, go buy her a stuffed animal, a blanket, candy, and lots of ice cream. And other gifts are acceptable too. Pray, pray, pray. Don't ever forget how much you need God. Have a quiet time. It might seem like a hassle, but it will help you stay close to God. Be nice to your parents. They love you and they want the best for you. So if you disagree with them, just realize that right now they're a lot smarter than you are. Sorry about that. If you find yourself lying to your parents or other adults in your life, backtrack and get out of that situation immediately. You are somewhere that you do not want to be. Never be afraid to say no. It's better to be a wimp than to be dead. When you fall on your face, get back up and keep moving, both literally and figuratively. Journal so that you can look back and see what God has done in your life. Even when you don't want to, go to church. If it's not classy, don't do it. Don't judge. Even when people are doing things that you don't agree with, show them love. Pause before you speak. This will prevent a lot of problems. And remember that selfies are for faces. Some great rules for Allie, for all students, or from Allie for all students who begin a new school year. And just let me add a couple things. As you begin, you've got a fresh page. Make the most out of it. Get off on the right foot and start strong. When you get homework assignments, don't just put them in your own planners, but make sure your parents know them so that they can help hold you accountable. Yes, sometimes it's a pain to do your homework, but do it. Get on top of it early. Let your parents know that your education is important to you, and don't make them constantly be on your back. Have that accountability. Get involved somewhere in your school. Take pride in your school. Your school is unique. Make it more so by being yourself, by taking part in some of the things that are happening in your school. All right? And if you need help along the way, please ask. We've got tutoring services on Wednesday with our middle school, Wonderful Wednesdays, and we all would love to help you. Deb is in the office and she's constantly looking for folks that she can help tutor. We want to see you succeed. So if there's anything we can do to help you succeed, don't hesitate to ask. You are not on your own. So we want to encourage you as you get off to a great start. A reminder, again, because of my COVID and some others that have been affected, no youth group this week, but we are going to plan on meeting Sunday. I probably will not be there. But Pastor Will and Pastor Clint are planning on being there, and so we'll build from there. And let's get the new year started off right. Have a great week. Have a great new year. I love you guys, and I hope to see you real soon.